Okay, I'm going to work with a video today and I'm going to decorate an egg. More important that you see what I'm doing than to see me, so we're not going to worry about that today. This is a metal, just a metal candle holder that I picked up at a yard sale or an estate thing or a thrift store. I don't even know where it come from, but it's real pretty and has a lot of design to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this stand, and then I'm going to paint this egg to go on top of the stand. So it'll be like this. We'll put it down here so you can see when I'm finished with it, okay? So I'm going to, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint on the stand. I'm going to work on the stand first, and I'm going to use metallics. I love the metallics and love working with them. But when you use a metallic by itself, it's real hard to get that to cover. You're putting multiple coats on there to get it to cover this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my metallic and a little bit of black so that it is not transparent anymore, okay? This time I'm using a Deco Art metallic, and it's teal, Deco Art's teal in the metallic paint. I'm going to use that, and I've just got a Americana black here, a ebony lamp black is what I'm going to use, okay? So to begin with, I'm going to mix some paint. I'm going to work on this, and then we'll work back and forth on them, letting them dry, working on them together, okay? So I'm going to put me out some of the teal over here. Yeah, this is teal. I'm going to put some of this on my palette, and I'm going to try to do quite a bit because I'm going to have to put 2 coats on both of these. So I'm going to work back and forth. If you're mixing your paint, you want to try to mix enough the first time. And but if you don't, and you mix it the same day, if we mix it and get 1 coat on there, and it's not a good coverage, and we mix again to get the 2nd coat on there, it won't matter if we're a little bit off because we're using 2 different colors. So gradually, always take your light color and mix your dark into your light. So gradually add some of the dark over in. I've added some of the black over into my teal, and I'm going to keep adding that until I get a color that I'm pleased with. Okay. I love the metallic colors, and I'm partial to the dark shades. As you'll see from my videos, I'm more partial to using the dark colors than I am the light. Okay. And I didn't tell you, I'm Judy Mullins, and my business is called Vintage to Chic. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to see what it looks like. I've got an old rag here in my lap that I use for a work rag. And I'm just going to take me a large soft brush. I'm going to start right down here at the bottom. I've put 1 coat of white paint on this thing. It was gold when it started, and I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum's 2-in-1 matte finish. And I didn't have to spray it but 1 time because I'm going to cover it all up. I just put it on. That's my base coat. That starts my base coat. I did the same thing on this egg. I think it was kind of a pink shade, and I painted it with a coat of white, spray painted it too. And I think this egg came from, I got them from TJ Maxx. I got a bunch of them from TJ Maxx last year, and I got a bunch from Home Goods. So I'm still working on a lot of them that I've had for a while. Now I'm just going to take this blue, and I'm going to go right in here using a brush, and got to work your way down into all those little holes, little places it's on that piece. I'm going to go all over the whole thing. I like that color. See how pretty that is? The only thing we'll use on this is to paint it, and then we'll go into the waxes and use the waxes and those colors in with it to change the dynamic of the color. These projects are very simple. You can choose any candle holder you want, choose any color you want, and you have a project done in no time. When I'm prepping pieces, I always prep a bunch at one time. If I'm going to go outside and spray paint, I'm going to spray paint a whole bunch of things at one time. So when I get ready to work, I've got them sitting all over my workshop. When I get ready to do something, I can just pull it and go to it. I have a couple of Etsy shops. One, I sell my finished pieces. I'll get it out in a minute. which is vintage2chic.etsy.com. And another, I sell digital designs, which is vintage2chicdesigns.etsy.com. Okay. See, that's very quick on there. I've already got that bottom painted, and I love this color, this teal color. There's a lot of new blues coming out for the 25 season, a lot of new colors. I'm going to work my way right up the top of the candlestick. I will go back later and put a coat of something on that bottom, probably black. Usually I just go to the black when I'm wanting to finish a bottom or a back of something. I sell on my Etsy page, and I also do auctions on my Facebook page, which is also Vintage to Chic. If you have any questions, you can ask them here on the page, or you can message me. I'm always available to help you or answer any questions you may have. See, I've almost got this covered. I'm going to turn it upside down here a little bit and get that main bottom of the top. Okay. Make sure you got all your little spots covered. Flip it back up. Let that paint off my hands. And go right up here and paint the top piece. Okay, now we're going to set this one aside and let it dry for a few minutes while we work on the egg. So I'm just going to very easily pick it up by the edges and set it right over here on the end. I'm going to set it right up here so it'll be out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to pull this egg over here, and I'm going to do the same thing on it. And I see right now my paint's getting low. So I'm just going to go right ahead and put me a little more paint on this out here, because I know I'm going to have to put 2 coats on these 2 pieces. Like I said, if you're mixing while you're doing it the same day. Now, if you would mix this and then come back tomorrow and try to touch up a spot, you might know my paint has a clog in it. Try to touch up the spot, then it would be almost impossible to get that to match. But if you're mixing it the same day, it won't matter if it's a little bit off. Oh, I just put way too much in there. I should not have put that black right over into my blue like that. I should have put it in a little bit at a time. I told you that and then turned right around and did it myself. Now I'm going to waste a whole lot of paint getting that to the color that I want. My mistake. Big mistake. I poured that black right into that teal, and that was a big mistake. Because if you start with your darkest color and try to mix it, you're going to use up a ton of paint trying to get the lighter shade that you want. So always start with your lighter shade and then add your dark gradually. Do as I say, not as I do, as the old saying goes. Okay, now I'm going to go right in here on this egg. Start right down here to the bottom and paint this egg. And I will paint the bottom of this one too, but it's not important right now because I need to be able to set it down for it to dry. Go all the way around. These eggs, I got them with all different shapes on them. And this one has great big flat flowers, open flower on it, as you can see. So they're all that I bought. I bought all kinds of different designs on them. Just taking my brush, turning my brush however I need to get down in all those little spots. Don't want to leave any white spots showing. This is a big brush. I think I got these from Walmart. They come, you know, I don't know if this is the one that comes just 2 in a package or more. But it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide. I'm hard on brushes, so I use them a while and I destroy them real quick. Always keep some that you're doing when you're doing detail painting. You need some good brushes, so you always take real good care of them and keep them nice. But your others that you're just base painting with, it's hard hard for them to last very long. Okay, see how pretty that is? Oh gosh, that's pretty cool. See, when I look up there, I can see right up under there, there's some parts of that white showing through. Okay, coming right on around. By the time I get this coat on, that stand will be dry. Sometimes we have to dry them a little bit, but I think these will be okay. This is an egg, but you don't have to just use it for Easter. It's not decorated Easter-like design. It's more of an old world or, you know, or design, so you can use it, you know, you can leave it out year-round. You don't have to just put it out for Easter. And the Tuscan decor, or old world decor. Pick up any kind of, I never pass up candle holders when I'm out yard selling or, you know, hitting the thrift stops and stuff. I buy all kinds of candle holders and don't ever pass them up because you can do so many different things with them. And no two are alike. I find, you know, I do this one and then next one I may use a wooden stand on. If nothing else, then I go to the wooden ones that I can pick up at Hobby Lobby or somewhere. And I use them, and the eggs come in. I've got eggs in about 3 different sizes. I've done a lot of them in the last couple years. I am using a lot of paint on this, so I'll probably end up even having to mix a little bit more. It's taking a lot of paint to get down into all those little indentations that's in there. But I'm about 2/3 of the way around, getting it all over my hands, which you can't help that. I'll be doing some more over the next little while with some different colors on them. I painted an ornament today, and I did the metallics in a green, and it did the back of a Christmas ornament, and it was really pretty too. So you can use, when I go to the store, I just pick up all different kinds of colors that they have. Now if I wanted this to stay in a real true metallic teal color, I would first base coat it with a color matching the teal that's in a regular paint color. When you go in to pick up your paints, just pick up your metallic and then go right over to your paints, your Folk Arts, Delta, whatever they have, and turn the bottles upside down and just try to match you something. Go into those colors and try to match you two. You take a teal in one, a teal in the other, and just turn them upside down and see how close they are in matching. And that's the way you base coat it first with that regular paint, then you go back in with the metallics and you'll get that true color. But I like to mix them. Sometimes I'll mix 3 or 4. I might mix two colors of metallic and a black. People ask all the time, what do you have on that piece? And if it's not been done the day before, in the last couple of days, I never remember what I put on it because I mix them, so many of them. Sometimes I'm mixing 2 or 3 metallic colors along with that black, not just one. And mixing it, you never get the same color 2 times, so making sure I got all those spots covered, and I'm right up to the top. Most of the time I pick up metallic paints at Hobby Lobby. I live close to Hobby Lobby, just a couple of miles, so I live in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, right in the Pigeon Forge and Sevierville area, which right now is busy, busy, busy. Okay, I think I've got one coat on that. See how pretty that is? I see a little spot right there. Tilt it up, check those spots. And I'm going to push that one to the side. And I'm going to go back to my candle stand. Okay, and I'm going to mix me a little more paint. See, now this one's dry for me. So I'm going to go back in and mix me a little more paint. And I'm going to put another coat on each one of them, just to get it covered good. Taking my metallic and mixing my black to it. And hopefully this time I'll have enough to do both of them, because I don't have to worry about getting down in all the little nooks and crannies this time. Most of it's covered, so I'm just hitting the high spots this time to get a good coverage on there. Okay, so now I'm just going in and hitting the high places again. Don't have to get way down in there again. This just puts me a solid color on there. You can bead this one out. We'll put some bling on this one and bead it out when we get done with all these little things that it's got on here. We can put some bead, do all kinds of bling work on this one, which if we don't do it with this video today, I'll do another short video, because it needs to be dry before you put those. You need to have it dry and your varnish and everything on before you bead it. So when I put the beads on, I'll do another little video and place it in there short so you can see how we're putting the beads on. I'll use the beads and the 7000 glue and a wax pen to put them on with. Put your bling on. I like it. Oh goodness, see how pretty that is? Look at that. I'm right up here to the top now. And I really don't have to go back up under there again because that's not going to show, so I don't really have to paint that again. Just everything it's going to show is what I have to put the blue on again. If you see something on my Facebook page that you really like and you want to, you know, a video of it, then shoot me a message and tell me, and I'll create one for YouTube here. I've not been on YouTube very long, so there's lots of things I do that I don't have on here. But I'll be happy to do them for you if you see something on there that you like. Okay, now I've got 2 coats on that one. Okay, I'm going to push it back to the side, let it dry, and go back over to my egg. Now the egg is still a little damp on the top, but I still can get down here because this is dry at the bottom. So I'm going to work my way up, see if I can hold on to that, come down here and put the bottom colors in again. Like I said, I'll do the main bottom, but not right now because I don't want it to be wet. And since we're going to put the waxes on, we really don't. That's another reason we don't have to make sure everything is totally covered the second time, because we're going to go back in and change all the colors with the waxes. The more waxes, the more different colors you put in there, the more variation, the more depth you'll give your piece with all your waxes and your things that you put in there. See, I'm just going around and kind of hitting the high spots so I get a coverage on them, where that there's no, especially where it's outside of the flowers. The flowers, I just have to hit them because, like I said, when I get the rub and buff and the other waxes on there, that'll all change. Okay. Tell I've got it all over my hands, which doesn't matter, but look at that. Hard to paint and not get it on you. Okay, I think I've got enough on that one. Now I'm going to go ahead and dry this one, because that other one's probably not dry enough either. So I'm going to go ahead and use my dryer on this one and get it dried so we can go ahead and work on it. But you can see the 2 of them now. There's the 2 of them together. Okay, this one's getting pretty dry. I'll have to hit a little bit, but not as much. But this one's not. So I'm going to put my brush up here in the water, and I'm going to get my dryer out. And I'm going to dry this one a little bit. Excuse me just a minute here. Put my lid on my paint so I don't knock my paint over. Okay. Okay, now I see a couple little spots there where I don't have any paint. So before I dry that, I'm going to go right in here with a little brush and cover those little spots in there. I don't want none of that white to show through. And when you start to dry it, and you can see those, a few little white spots, especially down under. So you want to make sure you go back in and cover all those up. Don't want to leave none of them shining. Okay. Okay, now let's try this again. Inside, I'm going to put this in it just a minute. And hit it a few times. Okay, I believe I got it. Now I'm going to get me some waxes out. I've got some rub and buff here, some gold rub and buff. See what else I got in the drawer here. I'm going to get out some different things. I'm going to get out a little bit of a green because I've got some leaves. See right here, I've got some leaves on this, so I'm going to get me out a little bit of green. This is these are Finnabar waxes. This one is green brocade, and most of the time I buy these on Etsy. You know, I've got all different colors in them. That one's green. This one is an ash gray. So if you just, and it may, just like old denim here is blue. So just get out some different colors of ones. There's a turquoise. So you just get them out and lay them. There's copper. I've got all kinds of different colors in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play back and forth with them. Let's do this stand first. Okay. And I like to use a little piece of a rag here, just a little soft rag, to put them on with. So I'm going to put me out a little bit of my gold rub and buff first. I'm just going to smear it right over here on my palette, just put a little smear of it down my palette. And I'm going to put out some of the turquoise, put out a little bit of turquoise color. It comes out of the tube looking real pale, real light. And really, excuse me, really these metallics, the colors on them, you know, they're going to be different every time you mix them by what you're putting them on. You know, it'll say green, but it may, if you're mixing it with something on here, it may not be a really, you know, really true green that you think green. So I'm going to just play with these back and forth, and it really doesn't matter because you can go right back in with another wax and cover them up. I'm just going to take my finger, put a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to start on this one. I don't have any leaves or anything on this one, so I'm just going to start with the gold rub and buff. And I'm just going to come in here and kind of hit the high spots around the bottom here. See how pretty that is already? Go right around that trim around the bottom with that gold rub and buff. These are what really makes a design. Your waxes are. Otherwise, you're just got a blue piece. So if you use your waxes and work with them, and I'm just putting a little smear on my finger here, and then going around there. You can always go back and put more on. If you got it on there and you want it to get stronger, then just put you a little bit more on there. Or mix you another color in that. This one I'm putting kind of strong in this gold right down here on the bottom. Okay, I think I went all the way around that bottom edge with that gold. See how pretty that is? Ooh, that is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to change my finger. I'm just going to use that. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of the, what was the next one I had? I done forgot what I had. I think it was turquoise. Let's see what that looks like. And if we put a little bit right here around this little ball that's in here in the middle, it'll just change that with a little tiny bit of color around that. That's not showing up real strong, so that's okay. They all don't have to be real bright and strong. But I'm just going around that little ball and changing that color just a little bit in there. And we'll put some bling in that one. with these waxes, you really don't have to varnish, but I usually do. I usually take it outside and spray it with the 2-in-1 acrylic spray, Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 acrylics, clear acrylic. And you could use the matte or the shiny, whichever one you like. You could use the satin or the shiny finish. But I usually spray mine too. And I'll spray them before I put the bling on. I'll put a little bit of spray on them. Okay, see how pretty that bottom is? That just changed that color just a smidge is all it changed that. Now I'm going to come right on up my top, and I got another color here. This was the green brocade. I'm going to come right up through here with this. Put them down and then forget what I put down. Putting a little bit of that green right up that little section there. Just changing it a little tiny bit. And I'm going to go right on up under here with a little of that. Okay. Just about got it too hot here in my workroom. It's warmed up today. Now still got my heater on. Should have turned it off. Now you can see just a little bit. See how little bit of that tint of green is on there and up there? Now I'm going to come back and hit these edges right around here with a little bit of the gold. Go right around the top of this, right around here, and add a little bit of gold going around that design instead of going up and down. You can choose however you want to put them on. You do you to suit you. See, I went right around that edge right there with some of the gold. I'm going to go right down here and go around this edge a little bit. Okay, right around here. Just kind of going around those edges with a little bit of that gold rub and buff. I like the gold in the rub and buff better than I like it in the other. It's just a beautiful color. Covers good. So I've done both of those round through there, and I'm going to come right up here where these little beads are at and put the gold around them. Just choose your colors however you like them, however you want to use them. There's no rhyme or reason that says you have to put any particular shade on there. Just whatever floats your boat. We're all different. We all like different things. Let's see how pretty that is. Now I'm going to go right up under here and hit that very top right there a little bit, because that shows a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to go around this top edge with the gold. Tilt this up, and I'm going to go right around my top edge here where it sets right down in there. You won't see that when the egg gets on there, but you may at sometime you may want to take this egg off and use this candle holder as another, centerpiece for something else, even to put a candle on. You don't have to leave the egg on it. You got two pieces there. You can use the egg on it a while, and then you can put something else on it. So they don't have to be perfectly matchy-matchy for just that one piece, just to use one time. Okay, now I've got the gold around the top, and I'm finished with that one. That's all I'm going to do till I put the bling on. And like I said, I'll put the colors, I'll put the varnish and stuff on before I put the bling on. Now I'm going to set that one back here out of my way, and I'm going to come in with the egg. Okay, now I've got these leaves, these little leaves on here, and I'm going to hit them first with some of this green brocade. And right in here where I've got leaves, see, I've got a big leaf here. I'm going to come in there and just pick up a little bit of that green and come right up that leaf with that. And I'm going to do that on each one. See how pretty that is? I'm going to do that on each leaf that I have. I've got little ones here. Go all the way around my egg with this little bit of green. It's got a stem on it. We'll go right down that stem. Okay, so see, I've got those two on. Now I'm going to turn it right on around. There's two more right here. Right here with these two. Okay. Just working that on there. Got some more small ones over here. Put it on these. I'm just putting a little smear on my finger and pulling it down on those leaves. If you want to put more on them, go back and load it again and put more on them. Whatever you like. Some of them you may hit and make them heavier, and some of them you may leave them lighter. Okay. Okay, I've got the leaves on the top. Now I'm going to go down here to the bottom and do these. Oh, I like that. Okay, now I went all the way around. See my leaves, how they're different from this is the big flower, and then I've just went all the way around with the leaves and went around through there. Got the leaves down to the bottom. We got a section of them. Now I'm going to go in. I've even got a one that's pink here, metallic wax. It's called Rose, Sweet Rose. I'm going to put out a little bit of it and put on that flower and see what we get out, what we come up with. It won't be real bright. It's just a wax, so it won't be real bright color, but we'll see how it looks. Okay. Come in here, and I'm just going to start in the middle of my flower, and I'm going to go right around. We'll put some of those green in the middle, in the where the seeds are at in the middle of the flower. I'm hitting the petals now. And I'm not trying to work it down in them petals. I'm just hitting the, you know, the highlights of them, the high spots. And I like that. See how pretty that is? See, you can see the difference in this one and this one out here. So I'm just going around. I've got quite a bit of that wax on my cloth. And I'm going around all the petals with that pink color. This was Sweet Rose, I think I said. Yes, it's called Sweet Rose, and it's in the Finnabar waxes. They have all kinds of different colors, and I've probably got about a dozen different colors. And they last a long time, and I like the waxes in the tube because you can, you know, you just squirt out a little bit. I like to do that. That's what my thing, instead of trying to get them out of a jar all the time. I use those too, but I like these. Really, really like them. I like that color. Oh, that is really pretty. See how pretty that is? Look at that. See, you got the green up there, and then you got the pink on the flowers. Now I'm going to go right on down here to this next flower, right down here. I'm going to go around it the same way. Looking good. Now let's go right around. We got two great old big ones up here. I need to put me on a little more wax. Got two big ones over here. I missed a leaf down there and one there too. Boy, I missed 2 or 3 of them. Have to go back with them. Missed them completely. Okay, got that one all the way around. I got one more around here. I don't remember how much I paid for these eggs. But when it comes time in the spring, TJ Maxx has them and Home Goods has them. You can get them at a lot of different places. Probably Marshall's. All those kind of stores will have them for you in the spring. Okay, now I've got the flowers all the way around. See when I turn that, how you can see that pink on there? Now I've got to go back down here and let's see, these are the leaves I missed. Don't have to clean my little rag again. I'm just going to go right back in with my green, which I've got to get some out. Okay, that's copper, old denim. This is my ash gray with the turquoise. Lid on that one. You don't want to leave the lids off too long, they dry out on you. Okay, now go right back in here and get these leaves down here using my same little piece of cloth. Well, no, that's not the right color. Over here's my green, over here on the other side. I put out the wrong one. Now I got it. See, it didn't hurt it a bit to have one on top of the other. Okay, come right in here and put a little green on these little ones. Okay, got one right down here. I don't know how I missed them. But it happens. Now while I'm using this green, I'm going to go right into the middle of the rose, the flower, whatever that flower is. And right in there where the seeds are at, I'm going to put a little bit of this color right in the middle. Okay, got the leaves done. Now right up in here, in the center of those, I'm going to put a little bit of that green in the center. So we got a different color in there. See, went right in and set that off with a little bit of that green. Just like painting with a brush in different colors, but we're using the waxes. See, we're just about finished with this one. I'll come back in, when this is dry tomorrow or so, I'll make another video showing you how to put the bling on. How we bling it out. Okay, now, okay, see, we go all the way around. We got the green on the leaves and the pink on the flowers. Takes it all the way around. Now I'm going to take a little touch of my gold just to carry that out a little bit. Very, very lightly with the gold, I'm going to go right in here and just kind of take my dirty cloth with just a touch of gold on it. and put a few little streaks in there in the middle. Get my towel tightened up a little bit. Go up and down with them. I don't want to go across with them. I want them to go up and down the way the egg is. See, just putting a few little streaks of color in there, just to pull that gold up from what's on the other piece. Not too strong with it, but just here and there a little bit. A little bit on the top. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, let's put the top on this one. And I'm going to try to put it back here far enough away to where you can see how it looks. Let me move back away from my camera a little bit. See here? Now you can see we got the base, and it just sits right on top of the egg. I can't get the whole thing in there, so I'm going to put them beside each other. You see that it goes on the base like so, and I've got to paint that bottom. So I'm just going to set it right here so you can see the two of them together. Okay? And then I will finish the bottoms of them and I'll come back in and put the bling on you with a short video again, and we'll have them done. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Come along, follow me, and come back and see us again.